Hey Baba, to all of you, uh, I just want to know from you, all of you, that today's subject which I have taken for discussion is a little bit lengthy and just possible it may take little more time, or in the sense about 5-10 minutes more. Will that do for you, for all of you, Ganesh?
Yes, yes. We are good with
Uh,
it.
all right. Now we start. I'm just this many of the things about tourist subject you must have read through books, you must have heard from in so many speeches by people, and everybody, practically everybody, must be conversant with whatever I say today. It may be repetition for many of you, but then the subject is very very touching subject which I'll be taking today. I hope you would like it, or rather to say, I hope you'll enjoy it. As you know that Meher Baba's father, he passed many years of his life in wandering, and ultimately he came to Pune, where his sister was staying. I think the name of the sister was Piroja, and he must have thought of having a stopgap, stay there for a few days, and then again go on wandering. But then the sister, his sister, Viroda, she insisted that he should stop this wandering now. It's enough now. You have spent so much of time, so many years in wandering here and there, and now you get settled in Pune. You take some job or you take some business and you hire a house and marry, of course. As far as the marriage question comes before him, he was not inclined to marry, in fact. But then destiny was something else. Uh, to avoid every day's persuasion by his sister that you have to marry, you have to marry, you have to marry. To avoid that, he just pointed out one girl who was passing through the lane, and she was very young girl, in fact, a very small girl, and he put a very strange condition that if I am to marry, I will marry with this girl. Otherwise, forget about the marriage. And it was rather shocking for, but then Piroza was happy that at least he has agreed to marry. But then, how to open this subject before her parents? The the girl was nobody else than she was Shirin. She was only 13 years of age, whereas Sheriar, he had attained about 40 years, like 39 years or so. So three times he was older by three times, and it was very odd match. In fact, not very good match. But then what had to happen was to happen. Somehow, Piroja opened this topic. Shirin's mother, Gulendun, her name was Gulendun, she was very fast friend of Firoza, and very delicately, Firoza opened this topic before her mother, before her friend, before Shirin's mother, before Gulendun, and surprisingly, Gulendun agreed to this marriage. In fact, she promised that this marriage will take place. The reason, probable reason was that Sheriar ji, because of his God inclined nature, he had become a very respectable person. Many people used to respect him, and he was taken with high esteem. And somehow Gulendun agreed to this marriage, but Gulendu's husband, that means Shirin's father, was very much against. He was furious with Gulendun. How you have agreed for such marriage, such odd marriage? But then uh, Gulendin insisted that since she had given a promise, this marriage should take place, and the marriage did take place. We can understand that at the age of 13, the marriage took place. Shirin had not even reached the age of puberty, but then what had happened to happen has happened. The marriage took place, and she got first son, whose name was Jamshid. They named him as Jamshid. When their first son was born, she had no feeling about that child. She had no motherly feeling. She must be. See, one thing I just forgot to tell you, that I have not witnessed myself all these events. But then the story goes on like this, and I have my own thinking about this. And you have to first understand that whatever I say today, it is my own thinking on the whole subject. So must have that first son. She was not able to receive that son. In fact, uh, she was too young, and the motherly feelings, had not aroused in her mind, in their heart. And as a result, the boy Jamshed was kept with his uncles, who was staying in Lone. Lone is a place, a village-like place on the outskirts of Pune. Now it has come in the city, but then it was a village-like place. So he was kept there, and Shirin was happy with that, with this arrangement. They had no children. The uncles had no children, and that boy was being brought up by that uncle. And what happened here thereafter, when the second son was born, which was Merwan, she had all that feelings in her heart. The motherly feeling were coming out, and her whole focus, whole focus of her love was that child. That child was also a special child. It was so very beautiful child. It is described that Merwan in the childhood, he had a very beautiful hair. His hair were golden hair, and there were curly on the falling on his shoulders. They were curly hairs, and it looked very beautiful. And she had her own dreams about the son, about the second son, because she had thought that this boy, he the whole planning for his life was being done by her mentally. She was involved in that mental imagination, how he'll be educated, how he'll be getting a job or doing business, how will he earn money, how will he get married with a good girl, and how he will have lot of children. That was her dream. And with this dream, she was all the time focusing on Merwan. And Merwan was also a very beautiful children, very lovable children. One thing I will mention here, that Gulendun's husband, that means Sheriar's father-in-law, he had stopped coming on having any relation with this family, with Sheriar's family, because that he had not liked this marriage. But then when this child was born, second child was born, not the first child, second child was born, which was Merwan. there was something in his child that Sheria's father-in-law started visiting this house to see his grandson, a beautiful grandson. It was a thought which K.K. Ramakrishnan was Center Secretary, Pune Center Secretary had expressed some time ago that Meherban, as a boy, he had right from the childhood, he had the knack of joining the hearts of the people. Now the look at this, his own family. His grandfather was so much against his father's family, and then when Meherban was born, the natural course was that his grandfather started visiting that house, and that separation had disappeared or had dissolved, and both the families came together. This has happened many times in his young age also. Meherban was very much known for his knack of settling the quarrels among these boys. He was, and all the boys, all his friends uh, used to honor him in this respect, that whenever he settles any dispute, they will agree to that. They will agree whatever he says. That was within his nature, and this nature went on throughout. Baba's nature was such that any enmity amongst people, he used to resolve that, he solve that, and he will bring people together. Throughout his life, it has been so. There are so many instances like that. Anyway, that's not our subject. But then, what thereafter, what happened is that up to the age of about 18, 19, he was quite a normal boy, very playful, running through the lanes, running after the kites, playing marbles, sitting in the dusty road and hitting marbles, then playing gilli danda and atta patta and all these Indian games. He was a normal boy. He was attending to studies. He was first studying in St. Vincent High School. He got admission in Deccan College. But thereafter, at the age of about 19, there had been a very great transformation in his life. He met with Babajan, and the whole course of his life changed. Whole course of his life changed. He started behaving very abnormally against the wishes, against the dreams of his mother, Shirin Mai. Mai means mother, as we say in English, mom, that is the mother. So Shirin Mai, it was all against her the dreams which she had in her mind all these years, and everything changed. Everything changed. A normal boy. Once Jal had told me that particular night when Babajan kissed Mirwan's forehead, and when he returned it, because usually Jal used to keep watch on Mirwan's movements. On the instructions of Shirin Mai, Jal was a spy. He always used to watch the movements of Mirwan. And that day, Mirwan had already started visiting Babajan every now and then. And that particular night, when she planted a kiss on his forehead, when he returned home, this Jal had personally told me, he had described it before me, that the whole appearance changed. The whole appearance of Mirwan had changed. He was looking so very strange, a different person altogether. And as he came, his eyes were vacant, and he just, without talking anything, he just went to his room and shut his door. That was the condition, that was the transformation which took place in his own life, in the Merwan's life. And this was very much against Shirin's Shirin's planning about Merwan's life. It was going all against it. And she was feeling very much worried what to do now. She has tried all remedies. She had taken him to several doctors. She thought that he has gone insane and mad, and he has also got mentally checked up. Then she had tried some herbal medicine, this medicine, that medicine. Not only that, but she had also consulted the the fortune tellers, or some people who are practicing some mysticism. Even that he had done to that extent. She had tried all that, but there was no improvement in the whole behavior of Merwan, because for 3 4 days he was in the dazed condition. Nobody dared to open his door but except the mother. And mother was all the time worried about him, what to do with this boy now. She was feeling so very helpless and losing all hopes about him. Day by day, she was all the time trying for some remedies, but then every time she was getting defeated. And that was a great worry which was created in her mind. And once she was sorry disturbed, she knew that this boy is often going to Baba Jan. Baba Jan, that old lady, she used to call her a witch who does some magical things. So Shirin was taking Babjan to be someone like that. Once she determined to go to Babajan and take her to task, ask her what she had done with Merwan, her child. And as a support, she takes with her own mother, Gulendun. She thought that Gulendun will be a sort of a support for that quarrel which she was to enter into with Babajan. And both Gulendun and Shirin Mai, they went to Babajan. Now look the scenery at Babajan. It's very, what should I say, very significant to think over all these things. Babajan, instead of when both of them approached them, Babajan received, especially Gulendun, so very lovingly, as if she had met with a very old time friend, as if she knew Gulendun since years. In fact, they had not met before. But then Babajan started reminding her own life in Iran, a tough life against this uh, Islamic people. And Gulendin was really surprised. You are taken by surprise how she knows about my life. These are very secret things in my life, and she is disclosing everything to me. And she was so very happy with her that both of them started talking so lovingly. And on the other side, Shirin was just burning from within. She was burning from within. What if I have brought her to support me, and then she's talking as if they are very thick friends. She was very much upset with her mother, very much upset with Gulendun. But then she took courage and asked Babajan, what you have done with my son? He's behaving so very strange. What you have done with him? And very happily Baba said, "Oh, you are talking about my child." Bacha. She used to say, Mera bacha, means my child. You are talking about Mera bacha? Oh, he is such a great person. There will be time when all the world will bow down to him. He will do immense good to the whole world. He is a great person. Now, in spite of all these great things which Babajan told about Mirwan, the things entered Shirin's head. There was no change in her feelings, and ultimately she gave up the whole topic there itself. And with her mother, she came back home. And after coming home, she took her mother to task. I have taken you to support me, and you were talking with her as if you are very old friends, and you love each other so much. You were dissolved in her love so much that I could not do anything. I was really disappointed with you. All that conversation took place. However, that matter ended there. But then, thereafter, she also knew that Merwan has visited Narayan Maharaj. So another trip she makes to Narayan Maharaj. Now look at the scenery there. Narayan Maharaj welcomed her very lovingly, very respectfully. And what she addressed her is Jagan Mata, the mother of the whole world. There was no talk about Mirwan there, no grudges against Mirwan, nothing about that topic. But then there were the Shirin enjoyed the company of Narayan Maharaj, and Narayan Maharaj also treated her very lovingly. And thereafter she came back. Her questions were not solved till then. And thereafter she thought of another old man who was sitting in Sakori. She thought that there is another culprit who is sitting in Sakori. Now I have to take him to task. And several times she visited Sakori, and every time she visits, she asked Maharaj to, to send back Merwan home. But Maharaj, now they see the how Maharaj used to treat her. When she comes there, Maharaj will welcome her very, very, very lovingly. Oh, Merwan's mother has come. And she will, Maharaj will call Durga Bai, who was disciple of Upasni Maharaj. He will call her, and he will entrust the responsibility of talking with Shirin to Durga Bai. She will give Shirin in her charge. Durga Bai has to feed her. Durga Bai has to arrange for her little rest. And Durga Bai has to spend time with her all the time since she is in Sakori. Shirin Mai is in Sakori. And just when little time was left for the train, Maharaj will come and hurry up. No, there is a time for your train. You will miss your train. Come on, let's hurry up and go to the station immediately. So there was he was not giving any chance for any complaint, going before Maharaj and making any complaint about Mirwan or express whatever she felt about Mirwan. There was no chance which was given by Upasni Maharaj. And every time she will go there, and with this drama, she will come back. And she comes back, she will think what I have done, what for I had gone there and what I have done. This man is really a very shrewd my person. To pass me by, she used to think that this man is shrewd person. Every time he is fooling me. Every time he is fooling me. And once she determined that today I will not leave him. I will take him to task. I will take Meherwan with me. I bring back Meherwan with me. With that determination, she goes there and she complains to Maharaj. But why you have kept Meherwan with you? What business you have got with him? In fact, already he has spoiled his whole career. He has created a lot of worries before me, and you are adding to that. You are adding fuel to that fire. He doesn't want to come home. What is this? What is this going on? And Upasini Maharaj will supply. He said, "What you said? I have kept him. No, nothing doing. I don't want to stay. Want him to stay with me. I have never asked him to stay with me. He is open to go with you, and you can take her anytime when you want. I have not stopped him. Mind well, I have not stopped him going home, and I have nothing to do with him." Very curt answer she gave, Upasini Maharaj. You can take her away. And then Upasini Maharaj, she said, "No, I'm going to take him away." Yes, yes, you can freely take him away. I am not coming on the way. In fact, I don't want him here now. And Upasini Maharaj called for some person to bring Meherwan. Now look, Meherwan comes there. Upasini Maharaj and Shirin and some other people are there. This boy, like a vagabond, wandering here and there with his dirty clothes on his body, with his hair scattered on his forehead, and looks like as if he has not taken bath for, for days together. He appears there in that form, and Shirin just looks at him and says, "Meherwan, I have come to take you back. You have to pack up now. I have already told Maharaj that I am going to take you home. Now don't waste time and pack up and come with me." And that time, Shirin's very dear son, her own child, her very favorite child, whom she loved most, what he says is, "I am not coming with you. I will not come back with you." Flatly refused to go with her. And he said that I want to stay here with Maharaj. You can just imagine what must have been the state of mind of Shirin Mai. She was just dumbfounded. She just like a dumb person. She got up, came to the station, no talking with anybody, just lost within herself, and in a very sad mood, she came home without talking to anybody, not with even her husband, without answering any queries. She straight away went to her bedroom and lied down on the bed. And she felt so very sick because of this shock. her own child refusing to go with her. That was a great shock for a mother. And when she fell sick, her husband, Shiryarji, sat by her side on the cot and he started taking care of her. He was trying to comfort her, doing everything for her, giving her medicines and this and that. But there was no improvement in her health. She had stopped taking food, she had stopped taking anything, she had stopped her routine work, all the routine bath and everything she had stopped doing, and just lying on the bed without talking with anybody. A very strange state she was in. And when her illness was very much gone to a serious condition, one night when Sheriar was sitting by her side, one night Sheriar saw two persons in the midnight, two persons opening the door, coming through the door. They were dressed in a long gowns. They come, they without looking at Sheriarji, they stood before Shirin's bed. They looked at her face for some time and then go away. Who were the two persons? Many of you must have read that one was Bhagwan himself and another was Sai Baba. And the very next day, a radical change was seen in the health of Shirin. She became all her normal. She started eating, she started taking food and then started taking bath and started dressing herself and started combing her hairs and started household work and that all that. From the very next day, all the routine restarted again. Now here, one thing about this woman, in her lifetime, she could not conceive that Mirvan is a God man or he is God in human form. In fact, her attitude used to be, people may be bowing down to him. He may call himself to the avatar of the age. People may accept that he is the avatar of this age. There may be a number of followers him. But then, after all, he is my child. I have carried in my womb for 9 months and I have given birth to him. That feeling was so very strong in her throughout her life. And every time she must be thinking, I have nothing to do with his godliness or his avatar food and all that. I have nothing to do. One thing I know that he is my child and my most favorite child. And that he should obey me. He should please me. That was her thought, predominant thought in her mind. And with that thought, she was living with him. There are many instances when once she was very angry with Merwan and said, how you dare to behave like this before me? I have given you birth. From my own womb, I have given you birth. And smilingly, what Baba says is, what Merwan says is, I have given birth to entire world, including including you. It is I who have given birth to the whole creation. I created, and I have created you also. Such remarks used to pass, and never at time Shirin just accepted Mirwan anything other than her child. That was predominant thought in her mind that Mirwan is my child. Now, see, there is a very strange relation in between these two. She's not bothered about all the world, what the world feels about him, what the world talks about him. She is not bothered about that. It is only what she knows is that Mirwan is her child, favorite child, but lovable child, and she loves most. If we take out Mirwan from her life, she is just an ordinary woman. There are many women like this. Many ladies must be of her nature. But that her nature, that sort of a nature had taken weightage or had taken gracefulness because of her being mother of Mirvan, her being mother of the avatar of the age. This is a very beautiful combination because she was mother of God man avatar. Her nature had earned a special gracefulness. If you minus Mirvan from her life, from her nature, from her life, then she was a simple, ordinary woman, so like so many other women. So this is a very beautiful combination between the mother and child. Now, I will read out some portions of from my notings. They are beautifully described about her personality. And there is also one instance which I will read for you. Now, this is about her whole personality. It's beautifully written by somebody. Whenever Mirvan went to his family house, he would inquire about his father's business and mother's well-being. Mother's well-being. He will inquire about her father's business and mother's well-being. He always consoled his mother, reconciling her to acknowledge his spiritual destiny. He wanted her to acknowledge that. The sweetness of Shirin's love for her son was always evident, and Mirwan's love for his mother was very tender. Even though Shirin's nature was strong and forceful, even though Shirin's nature was strong and forceful, and she did not hide that she was possessive for her favorite son, she had a definite dignity in her bearing and speech. A specific dignity in her bearing and speech. It was said, a very beautiful statement is made here. It was said, even when asleep, deep sleep, Shirin is a queen. Even when asleep, Shirin is a queen. Her name depicted her nature. Shirin's innate sweetness and intuitive intelligence were unique. Shirin's innate sweetness and intuitive intelligence were unique. An example of her sweet nature or profound innocence was that she never knew or spoke swear word. She never spoke any swear word. She suffered much during her son's realization, as any loving mother would have, who lost her mother, who lost her son to God. She had lost her son to God, and like any other mother, she also was suffering mentally. To take form, lost, to take form, the formless God had chosen a queen of beauty. God man had chosen a queen of beauty to take birth because of Shirin's inherent dignity. Because of Shirin's inherent dignity and sweet nature, she among all women on earth was chosen to bear the avatar of the age. A beautiful description about Shirin. Now there is one another instance which I will read out to you. A sort of a beautiful conversation between the son and her and his mother. A lively conversation between mother and her son. Shirin visited Bharucha building. Bharucha building is in Mumbai, near Bombay Central Station. Shirin visited Bharucha building along with Daula. Daula is her sister, and a person named Babu Rao. Babu Rao was one singer in Pune. Along with these two, she visited Bharucha building. Merwan was there. Finding her son thin and weak, Shirin rebuked him. Sheni rebuked him. Merwan, why are you starving yourself? Why are you starving yourself? Are you mad? That is what the mother asking her son. Merwan laughingly replied, the whole world is mad. See how the mischief, the son is playing mischief with his mother. He says, the whole world is mad, not he. Merwan said that the whole world is mad and not I. I am the healer of madness. I am the healer of mad people. The mother remarked, when you fast like a mad, when you fast like a mad man, how can you hope to help the mad? How you can hope to help the mad person by fasting yourself? I have to fast and make them well, Merwan said. And then she said she forget about the mad and go on eating. She exclaimed, to cure them, I have to take birth through your womb. That is, Merwan says to her mother, to cure them, to cure the mad people in the world. I have taken birth through your womb. If I don't play my part, this is a mischievous statement. If I don't play my part, your name will be cursed throughout history. He tells, he tells his mother, your name will be, people will curse by your name. Your name will be cursed throughout history. Shirin could not, on his reply, Shirin could not suppress her smile. And that ended there. There are certain incidents. Once they were in Panjgani. Once they were in Panjgani, Baba says to his Mandali, he calls his Mandali and tells them that tomorrow there will be a very big bomb blast. Everybody was wondering what Baba is talking about. Baba is talking about a bomb blast that is to take place the next day. What was there is that Shirin was to arrive the next day. And Baba makes fun of her. At another time, when she had come and she had a mind to stay there for some days in Panchgani itself, Baba had told his Mandali, some of the senior Mandali, to very tactfully deal with Shirin. Just tell her that this is a very dangerous place where they are staying. There is a very dangerous place. There are lots of wild animals which come in the night time. At times, daytime also they come here. And there are many ghosts which trouble people in the night time. So it's a very dangerous place to live. We are living in a very dangerous place. You know what Shirin said? It is that your master has told you to tell me. This your master has told you to tell me all these things. I think your master has told you. She was very shrewd and she was very intelligent. Very intelligent. But in spite of that, after all, she was a mother. And that prominence of her feeling of a mother every time peeps out of her. This is a beautiful story about Shirin and her favorite son. Befitting this thought, befitting this situation, I have a song which I am going to sing now. Yes, about 5-10 minutes I will sing. I will sing a song for you. It's a beautiful composition. A song by Kabir. It is a song by Kabir. You know, Kabir is a saintly personality and he was a poet also. Remove this. As and when I sing, I will explain to you the meaning of the song. And you can compare with the today's talk. Let's remove this one. Oh, thanks. Now the first two lines of the song are the people, the neighbors of Kabir, or the relations of Kabir, or the friends of Kabir and the family, Kabir's family. They all gather around Kabir's mother and they are complaining against Kabir. They say that your son Kabir, he got spoiled. He got spoiled beyond repair. He was so much spoiled. And what are the instants? This is the own composition of Kabir. But his imagination is that so many people come and complain to his mother that Kabir is completely spoiled boy. माई तेरू कबीरा बिगड़ गयो रे माई तेरो कबीरा बिगड़ गयो रे माई तेरो कबीरा बिगड़ गयो रे बिगड़ गयो रे बिछड़ गयो रे बिगड़ गयो रे बिछड़ गयो रे माई तेरो कबीरा बिगड़ गयो रे माई तेरो कबीरा बिगड़ गयो रे बिगड़ गयो and he got spoiled. He gives examples how he got spoiled. The first example he gives. When iron, the metal iron, it comes in contact with what we call one stone, alchemy. When it comes in contact with alchemy, that iron is converted into gold. This is the one example of getting spoiled. He is losing his own identity. That iron loses its own identity as iron. And that is how the iron gets spoiled. Comparing, the comparison is made with Kabir, that Kabir is also spoiled like that, like the iron got spoiled. माई तेर कबीरा बिगड़ गयो रे माई तेर कबीरा बिगड़ गयो रे पारस के संग पारस के संग लोहा बिगड़ा पारस के संग लोहा जो बिगड़ा बिगड़ बिगड़ वो तो बिगड़ बिगड़ वो तो बिगड़ बिगड़ वो तो कंचन भयो रे बिगड़ बिगड़ वो तो कंचन भयो रे माई तेरो कबीरा बिगड़ गयो रे माई तेरो कबीरा बिगड़ गयो रे The next example he gives is of milk and curd. If you put little of curd in hot milk, the whole milk gets spoiled. A little, the household ladies, they always do this when they want to make curd. They will put a little of curd in hot milk and the whole milk gets spoiled. That curd thereafter, when the milk is converted into curd, and that curd is ultimately converted into makhan. Makhan means the butter. Butter is the highest quality. So from curd to milk and milk to makhan or milk to butter, this is the transformation that has taken place in the life of Kabir. And the original identity of that milk is lost. So the original identity of Kabir is lost. he has become a different person now. He has spoiled completely. माही तेर कदीरा बिगड़ गयो रे, दूध दही के संग में दही के संग में, दही के संग में, दही के संग में दूध जो बिगड़ा, दही के संग में दूध जो बिगड़ा, बिगड़ बिगड़ वो तो, बिगड़ बिगड़ वो तो, बिगड़ बिगड़ वो तो, बिगड़ बिगड़ वो तो माखन भयो रे, बिगड़ बिगड़ वो तो माखन भयो रे, माई ते रुक दीरा बिगड़ गयो रे, माई ते रुक दीरा बिगड़ गयो रे. Next example given is about neem tree. Neem tree, neem is very sour. And the example which is given is, along with the neem tree, all the other trees got spoiled. When other trees came in contact with this neem tree, they came close to this neem tree. They grew there around neem tree. They all got spoiled. And what is the resultant product of that spoiling? It was that they become the trees producing sandalwood. As you know, sandalwood is very valuable thing. And sandalwood gives very beautiful, very sweet fragrance. So that all the trees were converted into the tree of sandalwood. They have lost their identity as a tree, as an ordinary tree. They were converted into a tree producing sandalwood. That is what happened in case of Kabir also. So the next stanza is this one. नीम के संग में सब झाड़ बिगड़ाए, नीम के संग में जब सब झाड़ बिगड़े, नीम के संग में नीम के संग में, नीम के संग में, नीम के संग में सब झाड़ बिगड़े, नीम के संग में सब झाड़ बिगड़े, बिगड़ बिगड़ वो तो, बिगड़ बिगड़ वो तो, बिगड़ बिगड़ वो तो चंदन भयो रे, बिगड़ बिगड़ वो तो चंदन भयो रे, माई ते रुक दीरा बिगड़ गयो रे. माये रुक बीरा बिगड़ गयो रे. In the last stanza, Kabir talks about himself. After giving all these examples of different things getting converted into something other thing, Kabir comes to himself, and what he says is, साधुन की संग कबीरा बिगड़ा. Sadhu, you know what is sadhu? Sadhu is a person who has renowned the whole world. In the company of the sadhus, Kabir got spoiled. Kabir was spoiled to such an extent, from the worldly point of view, he had become useless. One may say that he had become useless. But by getting spoiled, he became saint. साधुने की संग कबीरा बिगड़ा, बिगड़ बिगड़ वो तो संत भयो रे. He attained to the state of a sant, a saint. That is the last stanza. I'll sing it. साधुन के संग साधुन के संग कबीरा बिगड़ा. साधुन के संग कबीरा साधुन के संग कबीरा बिगड़ा. साधुन के संग कबीरा बिगड़ा. बिगड़ बिगड़ वो तो बिगड़ बिगड़ वो तो बिगड़ बिगड़ वो तो संत भयो रे. बिगड़ बिगड़ वो तो संत भयो रे. माई ते रुक बीरा बिगड़ गयो रे. माई ते रुक बीरा बिगड़ गयो रे. बिगड़ गयो रे, बिछड़ गयो रे. बिगड़ गयो रे, बिछड़ गयो रे. माई ते रुक बीरा बिगड़ गयो रे. माई ते रुक बीरा बिगड़ गयो रे. Imagine the state of Shirin Mai. Just compare with this song. That is what had happened in the case of Shirin and her son Merwan, who became to be known as Meher Baba, the avatar of the age. This is all about today's topic. I have a different feeling about Shirin Mai. She was very worldly woman, but very special woman. Very, very special woman. As I told you that when you look at her with reference to Meherwan, with reference to avatar of these days, Meher Baba, then her character gets a different color, different weightage, different gracefulness. My salutations to that woman. My salutations to that mother who had given birth to Meher Baba, the avatar of the age. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you. And Jai Baba to you.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Baba. Thank you so much, Pratap uncle. It was very beautiful and touching session. Thank you. What you shared is profound. So
thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Baba.
Anybody
you.
has anyone has any query, any question, please ask me freely. If I am able to answer, I will do answer.
Yes, Prakash.
Yeah, Jai Baba,
Yes.
Pratap ji, thank you so much for
Jai.
sharing. Thank you so much for sharing the, the childhood days of Meherban and Shireen Mai. It's so beautiful. It's just my comments here, just beautiful the way you put it together, and
Right.
I think the song really capped it. So wonderful. That was so wonderful.
Yes. Really true. Very true.
Jai Baba.
Okay.
Anything else?
Anybody else? Anyone, any comment, any thoughts, any questions? I think people are overwhelmed today. People are so full today, so nobody's having any questions. Sorry.
Very emotional story. Very emotional story.
Yes.
Very emotional story about Shireen Mai. Yes.
Okay. Okay, then, yeah. Thank you all. Then we have no questions today, so we will say 3 times Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. So everybody can unmute themselves.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we'll say Avatar Meher Baba ki jai together.
Yes.
Avatar Meher
Baba ki jai. Jai.
Avatar
Meher Baba ki
Jai.
Avatar
Meher Baba ki
Jai.
Jai.
Jai Baba. Thanks again. Thank you
once
both.
again, Pratap uncle.
Yeah, thanks,
Jai
Pratap.
Baba.
And thanks, Manish.
Nothing to thank me.
Jai Meher Baba Pratap Kaka.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba, Jai Baba, Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Speechless. And Mummy love, mother's love is always be like a mother's love. आई का प्रेम आई का जैसा ही होता है. आई का प्यार आई का जैसा ही.
आई का प्रेम. Yes. Very much. बहुत very different relation. It cannot be compared with any other relation. So now, Jai Baba to all of you. I will withdraw from.
Jai Meher Baba.
Jai Meher Baba, Jai Meher Baba, Jai Meher Baba to all of you.